So today we're going to start off by learning how to add a form or a contact widget to your page. So we're going to go and add this to our About page. Click on Pages and Menu. And we're going to go to the About page here. Okay. So with this page, we have currently just an about paragraph, and then we have some of our client photos. So what we are going to do is add a section, and we can click add a section by just clicking on this button right here. And it's going to populate some options to add a section. Let's see here. Scroll down. So it will automatically pull over a section, and you can choose to drop it anywhere on the page as it says here. So this is exactly where I would like to have that contact page added, or the contact section added. So I'm just going to go over to my options here and click on contact. And with contact, it's going to give us a lot of options. So we can see here. We can choose from the templates that are already here, and we can also modify what we choose once we pull it there. So you can just drag and drop, and it's going to go right to the section where you pulled it over from. And here you can just edit your section as you move along here. So this is on a strip, so you're going to look at the actual blue, and that's going to tell you where your parameters are for the section. So to manage this strip or to change the background, you would click on change strip background, and that's going to give you the options of changing your color, adding an image in that place, or a video. So I would like for this color to really stay the same because it's already part of my color scheme that I chose for the entire website. And that's going to be something that you can edit as you go along. So just for the sake of showing you that portion where you can change, you could make sure that you are clicking on the section, and it's going to give you the options. And you can kind of just hover over and go at your theme colors to see if you wanted to change it to one of those colors, or you can choose to add additional colors by going to, let's move this up. Can't really see the bars there. Let's move this for you. So you can move that and see the other colors here to make some additions to your new section. With this, the text boxes, you can choose to move those around and make any edits for that if you'd like. So that portion is just showing you how you can add contact forms to your site. So this is also considered a WIX form within the contact sheet. And you can also find the WIX forms on that listing as well. So if you click on the field that has the information, this is where you can edit the form fields. So if you say, okay, I would like to have first and last name, maybe you wanted to know what their mailing address is. So you could click on add new field, and it's going to generate or populate some options for you. So it has the type of fields that you can add, contact fields, and it's going to give you a list of options here. So I'm going to scroll down and click on address, and it's going to check that box, and it's just going to add that to the form. So I'm going to close that. And of course, I would like my address field to be up with the other item. So I'm going to just click on this and just pull it up, and I'm going to pull the message down. Okay. So, and then you can just arrange it how you like based on the structure of your form. And that is how you can add a field to an existing form from your template. So now we always want to remember that we should, let's see, move this up. We should save our work so that that information is saved on that page. And now also, now that it's saved, you have to publish. So make sure you click publish, because if you don't click publish, it will not show up on the site for the public, the viewing public, when they're looking at your website. So now that that's done, we're going to just preview that page. Get some time to populate there. So we're going to scroll up, and now we have the added form with the contact fields listed to our page. Okay, so we're going to go back to editor. All right, so now that we've worked on how to do the contact and forms, we're now going to go back to our light boxes. So last week we talked about how to do a light box and what that looks like when you're going to add that to your website. So what we're going to do is go to add elements, and we're going to go to, let's see, interactive. So we already have, let's see, a light box, but I'm going to just show you an example of how to use the light box scheduling feature. So we're going to go here. Now, this is another way that you can also immediately grab the contact information of the person who's visiting your page. So we're going to just use this for an example. We're going to go to the options for our contact light box, and these are going to give you some quick options of a light box template that you can use to collect information. You can just scroll down. There's several different options. Actually, hold on. There we go. So we're going to go up here. Let's see. Looks like there's not too many good options. Let's use this one here. Okay, so this light box feature, just for to show you how to use the scheduling option. So when you go to the light box and you're setting it up, you're going to click on Manage Light Boxes. So you're going to see by managing light boxes this on the site menu that there are two options for the light box that I currently have on my page, and that's the subscribe page. And it's going to be able to tell you, if you hover over the eye, where your light box is displayed. And also the three dots will allow you to edit or change the settings, et cetera, et cetera. So I clicked on that. So I'm going to just show you really quickly. This is the current light box that I have, and I have enter email. So this is something that's going to populate on the home screen right away. Well, about 10 seconds. I've set it for 10 seconds so that you can immediately grab the subscribers information. So we're going to just exit this one because we want to go back to the previous one. So we're going to go to pages, site pages and menu, and we're going to click on light boxes. It's going to take us to the options, and we're going to just click on the one that we were getting ready to work on here. So I'm going to close this. And so that's how you can kind of manage your light boxes that you currently have on your site. Going to set the triggers. You can change the name of the light box, as we talked about last week. But what we're here to do today is set a schedule. So this is something that's very, very unique and interesting and helpful to have when you want to schedule your light box to only populate during a certain time. Say, for an example, you have a holiday, or there's a certain there's maybe a certain special that you have going on and you only want it to populate during those times. Here you would just simply add in your start and end date for that, your times, and as well as your time zone. So time zone is going to be important. So if you're, on the West Coast, you might want to change this so that it populates for people if your audience is on the East Coast, or if your schedule is an East Coast schedule, you want to make sure that the time zone is appropriate. Once you've used that feature for that time period, you can clear your scheduling, and then you can, choose to delete the entire lightbox when you're done. So I'm going to just close this here and exit that, exit lightbox mode. And I'm going to go back over to menu, pages and menu, and I'm going to go to my lightbox, and I'm going to just delete this one because I only want the one that I currently have. All right. So that is how to use the lightbox scheduling. So next, we're going to talk a little bit more about the mobile settings. What I'd like to show you just really briefly before we get started on that is going through your website, really just checking your pages on the desktop view. So as we mentioned previously, if you go over and hover at the top, you see what looks like a desktop icon and then the mobile icon. What we're going to do first is just preview our website as it is in the desktop mode. So I'm going to click preview. And as it loads, it's going to give us a little preview here, and we're able to scroll through and look at our website. So what you're looking for is eras, you're looking for photos that are maybe out of place, color schemes that aren't right, because you want to make sure that when you switch over to your mobile view that the content transfers over. And we're going to talk about, again, what to do if it doesn't quite look the same on your mobile view. So we're going to just scroll down here and look at what we have. There's no footer here, so that's good. So we're going to go back up, and now we're going to go to our About section, and we were just there, so everything looked pretty good there. So we're just going to go back through, and as you can see, I have selected for the header to travel with me as I scroll on the page. So you're going to see that disappear once I start it's the disappearing header, once I start to scroll down, it's going to go away, and you can change and lock that at any time, and you can do it for for it to transfer over for your mobile site. So we'll look at that in a second. So here's our form that we just completed and our client photo gallery, again with no footer. So we're going to go to the next page, and this is our team page, which we'll look at after we work on our mobile settings. So this is our team page. We have some information there on how to contact the site owners, and then this is our online booking page. So we have the 4 pages. All of our services are here. We're going to look at this one as well in a little bit. So we're going to go back up because everything looks to be in order. We're going to switch over to mobile view. And now we're going to do the same thing, because we got to make sure that what people see on their phone is going to be positioned and formatted in a way that we want for as it would be on our desktop. So the menu button is going to be those 3 lines there. And then we're going to, of course, go to our home page and see what that looks like. So the view for the photo that's chosen on this particular page, you're going to have more of a different view because, of course, of the size. So one thing you want to be mindful of when you're using photos for your sections, your first sections, is that if it's a vertical photo or horizontal, and how that's going to transfer over to your mobile site. You can search for images using a vertical landscape or a horizontal landscape when you're using your image search for WIX images in that gallery. But if you're using a photo that you're uploading, you want to be mindful of how it will transfer over to your mobile app, your mobile site. So this is basically still the home page. Everything is in order and aligned. Folks can still see clearly. So one of the things that we talked about before was making sure that your font is at a good size, especially when you are activating that mobile view so that folks can see everything clearly, and remember your accessibility as well. So still no header here. So what we see here, I'm sorry, footer. The footer is quite large there. So ideally, there's nothing on this footer for the website, but ideally you would want to add something here, contact information or something, which we could add that, but just this is for demo purposes, so that there's not so much space. One thing you can do, let's go back to editor real quick, just to look at this. You can choose to change these settings so that your footer or the photo above takes up some of that space. Let's see if we can adjust the height just a little bit there. Now, what's going to happen is it's going to make it a little bit longer for the mobile view, and what that will look like for your folks who are viewing your page is just this gonna keep scrolling. So you can choose to eliminate that just a little bit, or you can hide the header and footer and change the page layout. As you can see now in the editor is going to tell us that. So just be mindful of when you are working on your mobile view that you don't have too much space of with no content while you're scrolling. All right, so let's move on to, let's go back to preview so it's easier to click over. We're going to just go to our about page. And here we're just strictly looking for the way that our content transfers over to our mobile site. So as you can see, our text is a little bit too large, because what we see here is that we have a full page of our waterfall, which is beautiful, but we have too much space here. So one thing that we could do is change the text so that the text kind of comes down a little bit more, and that it's not so much of a picture. Although it's beautiful, you don't want there to be so much of a gap in between your photo and the content. So this is like this so that you can see what that looks like and see how different it is from mobile to desktop. So this is just, for tutorial purposes, of course. But we can still see our form that we added, which looks great. All of the things from the form, the WIX form, are aligned, and we can still see our photo gallery. So one thing about the photo gallery, because of course there are more photos across the desktop view, if you click on the arrow, you'll still be able to scroll over to the photos that are on the rest of the gallery, which is great. All right, so let's go on up to our team page. So our team page now, our photos in the repeater are going to be stacked instead of side by side. You still have the same information there, but it's going down in a way that is very appropriate for the mobile site. It's going to have just a little blurb about the team, how to call, and as you can see on this one, our footer is not as big of a gap. So one thing I want to point out, that on our desktop site, there's more information here. So right now on the mobile site, you can only see the call feature. So let's just jump back to the editor real quick and go to switch to our desktop mode. So as you can see, I've lost the follow and the email information here. So what I would need to decide if I go to the mobile site, which we're going to switch back over, is if I want to hide this section because I don't want it to show differently without those other things on the mobile view. You can choose to leave it and just have the phone number show. That's totally up to you, but you just need to make sure that you want it to display that way. Otherwise, you can just click on the strip and see the highlighted section and then click hide element and it won't show. So that's another option as well. All right, so let's move on. We're going to go back to preview, and we're going to go to our last page, which is booking online. Okay, so this is a page with the services for this travel agency, and you have the service titles and all of the amounts and the booking opportunities stacked in the way that the repeater was for the staff. This is the same type of repeater that you'll see here. So the WIX will do the job for you by transforming those repeaters to be the appropriate size for the actual view, whether it be desktop or mobile. So we're going to just keep scrolling to make sure everything is aligned the way we want it to be, and everything looks good. As you can see, we're still scrolling. So you want to just, again, be mindful that there's not a lot of mindless scrolling, that there's actually something there. And of course, we have all these wonderful services. So we want to make sure that our clients see all of the services that we offer and that they can book them with ease. So let's switch back to our desktop view, and we're going to go back to the editor and move on. So we're next going to talk about our team page. So we're going to just go over to pages and menu, go to site menu here and click on our team. All right, so we're going to just close this. All right, so for our team page, I just want to show just a few quick features. And one of them is with the strip. So the scroll effect, this is something that I really like because you can choose to change the way that you scroll. And this is kind of something I mentioned about the mobile settings. So if you click on the strip itself, you're going to look for the blue that outlines the section for that actual area, and then you're going to go to the top. When you immediately click on a section or a strip or a column, it's going to highlight that area and it's going to give you your options right away. So at the top, we can change our strip background, and I'm going to show you that in just a minute. But first, I want to go to the scroll effect. So as you can see, the scroll effect right now is highlighted in green, and that's because there's an effect that's selected there. So we're just going to click on that. Right now, it's in fade in, and you know that because it's in a darker blue. So I'm just going to show you what this might look like if you choose a different scroll effect. You can also choose none and choose not to do any sort of scroll effect, but we'll just change it and just see what a different one might look like. So we're going to click on fade back. We're just going to click on that. So now that it's highlighted, we can close that, and we're going to just preview it before we save it. So as you can see, the scroll back takes away the background and it minimizes it, and it kind of highlights the actual staff members as they go up. That's probably not the best type of scroll effect. So we're going to just go back. We didn't do any saving to that. We just did a quick preview. So we're going to just go back to it here, click on the strip, click on the scroll effect, and we're just going to go back to the fade in because that one's probably the best one for this. So that's how you change the scroll effect. Now you can do a scroll effect change to anything that shows as a strip. And most things will have the options for you populate right here in that area. So you don't have to go anywhere else on the dashboard to be able to make that change. All right, so the next thing that I'm going to show you with this feature here is you're going to click on the actual image. So there are a few things that you, of course, do with the image. You can change the image. So let's just, for just a demo here, we're going to just edit the image. We're going to just click edit image, and it's just going to change, of course, that one image that's highlighted there. So, oops, sorry, wrong one. That would be replace image, and now I have to wait for WIX to let me do it. A little bit ahead of myself. Okay, so change image. All right, so now I have uploaded a few of my favorite people, and I'm going to find where those folks are. So let's see, look at my boards. Nope, that's not it. Media. Let's see. Let me get out of the site files. I had some things uploaded here. Let's see, maybe I don't. Let's go to upload media. Maybe they're just not here yet. So I'm gonna go to my desktop. Let's see if I can find this quickly. Go to my desktop. Okay, it's an uplift. All right, so I didn't actually upload it yet, but here we go. This is one of my favorite people, and we're gonna just add a new image to the staff here. So now Elmo's an agent. So if you upload any image to your media gallery, it'll automatically stay there. So if you end up deleting someone or moving an image, then it will still stay in your gallery. You'll only have to upload that once. So we're just going to change that because this is not Olivia Walker. This is Elmo. And Elmo is a great agent because he is such a fun agent. So if you wanted to do anything more to just this particular area where you have Elmo, if you're looking at your repeater, make sure that if you want to change the background, it's just the blue line that's covered is only over that container. And you'll see that where you see the word container pop up when you click on it. That means this will just be that one container for Elmo, and it will not change your other staff background. So as you can see, it tells you what to do or what you can do right at the top. You can change the background or manage your items. You can also change the design, change the animation. You can do some hover interactions, et cetera, et cetera. So we're going to change the background. I'm just going to show you what that might look like if you decided to change the background for Elmo. And let's see, we'll just find a fun one. And yeah, so that's how you would change the background. Clearly that doesn't work for this scheme. So we're just going to go back up and click none. And that's how you would change the background. All right, so that is how you would change the background. And we're going to move on to our last demo, and which is, it's going to be very high level, but this is for our services or our booking page. All right, so we're going to just go to pages and menu. We're going to go to our booking page, and we're going to get started here. Just a quick demo. So with this section right here, this was something that I was able to find from the template and pull over. So if we go to manage services, you would be able to add those services one by one, or you could add the full template and delete them. And I'm going to show you how to do that. So first, I want to show you what it looks like when you're adding them. So if you go to add elements, and I just did that to save time, but if you go to bookings, it will give you a featured list of booking elements, and you can choose various things depending on what you'd like to do. So you can choose to do a service list. You can do use the booking calendar. You can use a weekly timetable, a daily agenda, et cetera, et cetera. So whatever you choose, it'll populate. And as you can see, I just chose one of the service lists from the template. Also, if you click on the booking feature that's already here, you'll see your blue line, and it's going to tell you what you can do with this section by scrolling at the top. Here, we're going to click on Manage Services, and this is going to take you to your dashboard, and we're going to talk a lot about the dashboard and some of the elements of that next week. But for today, this is where you would add services to your website. So the great thing about WIX, this is so good because if you're looking for a service for a certain type of business, you can just go in and type in what type of services you're looking for, and WIX will give you some options. Say you don't find anything that's, exactly what you need, you can always start from scratch. So you can start from scratch, or you can use one of the templates that's already there based on your services. Also, if you are doing more like classes, or some sort of additional services that are more detailed, you can choose to book a class, and then the clients could book a session, or you can also start from scratch. So this is where you would do your booking. The same thing if you are, teaching a course and you have a seminar and you're doing some sort of conference, you can add those courses there as well on your booking site. So that's where you would go if you would want to set up or add additional services. With this one, it already came with services the same way you would do on any other repeater or any type of template. You can change and edit that as you go along. So, oops, I didn't mean to click that. Let me wait for it to go away. It's a little bit slow today. Okay, so with this feature, there might be some upgrades that you might need to integrate or things to make it work best for you. And it's always going to give you the option when you see that little crown. That's what that means. That it's saying, hey, you might get a better experience if you upgrade. But for the most part, booking services and things are very, very easy to use when you're using WIX. And you don't have to use all the bells and whistles right away if you don't want to. But this is a great option for keeping it simple. If you want to just a quick website, a simple website to get started, you can always do it that way for now. All right, so going back to the sites and menu page, it will give you additional options once you click on site pages and menu from your booking page. So this is the page we're on now. As you can see, it's blue. But then if you go and click on service page or booking calendar, you can add all of those options or remove them. You don't have to use them, just depending on what you're using. And as you can see, it's going to populate that service and gives you another page to your site. It kind of will be like a sub page. So we're going to just undo that. I think it just changed my whole page. However, that's how you use the services feature. That is a whole, probably a whole tutorial in itself. But if anyone who's watching has questions about bookings and adding services to your page, then certainly reach out for a one-on-one. So that is going to be all for the demo for this week. Next week, we're going to be talking more about the back office. We're going to talk about how to get your website searchable on Google and how to use the other search engine optimization for visibility on the web. Thank you.